Understudy, page 228. Via brought home 3 tickets to her school play a few days after Daisy died. We never mentioned the fight we had over dinner again. On the night of the play, right before she and Justin were leaving to get to their school early, she gave me a big hug and told me she loved me and was very proud to be my sister. This was the first time in Via's new school. It was much bigger than her old school, and 1,000 times bigger than my school. More hallways, more room for people. The only really bad thing about my bionic Lobot hearing aids was the fact that I couldn't wear a baseball cap anymore. In situations like these, baseball caps came in really handy. Sometimes I wish that I could get away with the old astronaut helmet I used to wear when I was little. Believe it or not, people would think seeing a kid in an astronaut helmet was a lot less weird than seeing my face. Anyway, I kept my head down as I walked right behind Mom through the long, bright hallways. We followed the crowd to the auditorium where students handed out programs at the front entrance. We found seats in the front row, close to the middle. As we sat down, Mom started looking inside her pocketbook. "I can't believe I forgot my glasses," she said. Dad shook his head. Mom is always forgetting her glasses or her keys or something other. She's flaky that way. "You want to move closer?" said Dad. Mom squinted at the stage. "No, I can see okay." "Speak now or forever hold your peace," said Dad. "I'm fine," answered Mom. "Look, there's Justin," I said to Dad, pointing out Justin's picture in the program. "That's a nice picture of him," he answered, nodding. "How come there's no picture of Via?" I said. "She's an understudy," said Mom. "But look, there's her name." "Why did they call her an understudy?" I asked. "Wow, look at Miranda's picture," said Mom to Dad. "I don't think we would have recognized her." "Why do they call it an understudy?" I repeated. It's what they call someone who replaces an actor if he can't perform for some reason," answered Mom. "Did you hear that Martin's getting remarried?" Dad said to Mom. "Are you kidding me?" Mom answered, like she was surprised. "Who's Martin?" I asked. "Miranda's father," Mom answered, and then to Dad. "Who told you?" "I ran into Miranda's mother in the subway. She's not happy about it. He is having a new baby on the way and everything." "Wow," said Mom, shaking her head. "What are you guys talking about?" I said. "Nothing," answered Dad. "But why do they call it an understudy?" I said. "I don't know, Augie Doggy," Dad answered. "Maybe because the actors kind of study under the main actors or something? I really don't know." I was going to say something else, but then the lights went down. The audience got very quiet very quickly. "Daddy, can you please not call me Augie Doggy anymore?" I whispered in Dad's ear. Dad smiled, nodded, and gave me a thumbs up. The play started. The curtain opened. The stage was completely empty, except for Justin, who was sitting in an old rickety chair, tuning his fiddle. He was wearing an old-fashioned type of suit and a straw hat. "This play is called Our Town," he said to the audience. "It was written by Thornton Wilder, produced and directed by Philip Davenport. The name of the town is Governor's Corners, New Hampshire, just across the Massachusetts line. Latitude 42 degrees 40 minutes. Longitude 70 degrees 37 minutes. The first act shows a day in our town. The day is May 7th, 1901. The time is just before dawn." I knew right then and there that I was going to like the play. It wasn't like other school plays I've been to, like The Wizard of Oz or Cloudy with a Chance of Meatballs. No, this was a grown-up seeming, and I felt smart sitting there watching it. A little later in the play, a character named Mrs. Webb called out for her daughter Emily. I knew from the program that was the part that Miranda was playing, so I leaned forward to get a better look of her. "That's Miranda," Mom whispered to me, squinting at the stage when Emily walked out. "She looks so different." "That's not Miranda," I whispered. "That's Via." "Oh my God," said Mom, lurching forward in her seat. "Shh," said Dad. "It's Via," Mom whispered to him. "I know," whispered Dad, smiling. "Shh." Next chapter, the ending. The play was so amazing. I don't want to give away the ending, but it's the kind of ending that makes people in the audience teary. Mom totally lost it when Via, as Emily said, "Goodbye, goodbye, world. Goodbye, Governor's Corners, Mama and Papa. Goodbye to clocks and ticking and Mama's sunflowers. And goodbye, food and coffee and new iron dresses and hot baths and sleeping and waking up. Oh, Earth, you're too wonderful for anybody to realize you." Via was actually crying while she was saying this, like real tears. I could see them rolling down her cheeks. It was totally awesome. After the curtain closed, everyone in the audience started clapping. Then the actors came out one by one. Via and Justin were the last ones out. When they appeared, the whole audience rose to their feet. "Bravo!" I heard Dad yelling through his hands. "Why is everyone getting up?" I said. "It's a standing ovation," said Mom, getting up. So I got up and clapped and clapped. I clapped until my hands hurt. For a second, I imagined how cool it would be to be Via right then. Via and Justin right then. Having all these people standing up and cheering for them. I think there should be a rule that everyone in their lives, in the world, should get a standing ovation at least once in their lives. Finally, after I don't know how many minutes, the line of actors on stage stepped back and the curtain closed in front of them. The clapping stopped and the lights went up and the audience started getting up to leave. Me and Mom made our way to the backstage. Crowds of people were congratulating the performers, surrounding them, patting them on the back. We saw Via and Justin at the center of the crowd, smiling at everyone, laughing and talking. "Via," Dad shouted, waving as he made his way through the crowd. When we got close enough, he hugged her and lifted her off the floor a little. "You are amazing, sweetheart." "Oh my God, Via," Mom was screaming with excitement. Oh my God. She was hugging Via so hard, I thought that Via would suffocate, but Via was laughing. "You are brilliant," said Dad. "Brilliant," Mom said, kind of nodding and shaking her head at the same time. "And you, Justin," said Dad, shaking Justin's hand and giving him a hug at the same time. "You're fantastic." "Fantastic," Mom repeated. She was honestly so emotional she could barely talk. "What a shock to see you up there, Via," said Dad. "Mom didn't even recognize you at first," I said. "I didn't recognize you," said Mom, her hand over her mouth. "Miranda got sick right before the show started," said Via, all out of breath. It wasn't even time to make an announcement. I have to say, the way she looked kind of strange because she was wearing this makeup and never seen her like this before. "And you just stepped right in there last minute," said Dad. "Wow, she was amazing, wasn't she?" And Justin, his arm around Via. "There wasn't a dry eye in the house," said Dad. "Is Miranda okay?" I said, but no one heard me. At that moment, a man, who I think was their teacher, came over to Justin and Via, clapping his hands. "Bravo, bravo, Olivia and Justin." He kissed Via on both cheeks. "I flubbed a couple of times," said Via, shaking her head. "But you got through it," said the man, smiling ear to ear. "Mr. Davenport, these are my parents," said Via. "You must be so proud of your girl," he said, shaking her hands with both hands. "We are." "And this is my little brother, August," said Via. He looked like he was about to say something and suddenly froze when he looked at me. "Mr. D," said Justin, pulling him by the arm. "Come meet my mom." Via was about to say something to me, but then someone else came over and started talking to her, and before I knew it, I was kind of alone in the crowd. I mean, I knew where Mom and Dad were, but there were so many people all around us, and people kept bumping into me, spinning me around a little bit, giving me that 2-1 look, which made me feel kind of bad. I don't know if it was because if it was because I was feeling hot or something, but I kind of started getting dizzy. People's faces were blurring in my head, and their voices were so loud it was almost hurting my ears. I tried to turn down the volume on my Lobot ears, but I got confused and then turned them louder at first, which kind of shocked me. And then I looked up. I couldn't see Mom or Dad or Via anywhere. Via yelled out. I started pushing through the crowd to find Mom. Mommy! I really couldn't see anything but people's stomachs and ties all around me. Mommy! Suddenly, someone picked me up from behind. Look who's here, said a familiar voice, hugging me tight. I thought it was V at first, but then when I turned around, I was completely surprised. Hey, Major Tom, she said. Miranda, I answered, and I gave her the tightest hug I could give.